Yo guys, what is going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys One Piece chapter 1089, the post live stream analysis discussion. And for those of you that don't know, this is a new thing I've been doing recently for the channel. Pretty much when it comes to One Piece, and I might start doing this for other series too, but more so it's for the official release. So when I do the initial live stream uh, discussions, they're usually just for the unofficial translations. And then for the post translate, and then I said post translation, but and then for the post chapter live stream analysis discussion, I wait for the official release, and then I do a side by side comparison. See what the differences are, what's a little more clear, and ultimately, just talk about other things I didn't really get a chance to tackle in the initial stream discussion. So that's what this is for. And that's also gonna come down to what'll be happening in chapter 1090, which I know there's not gonna be a chapter next week, and I'll get more into that when I get to the end of the chapter. So let's go ahead and start off like at the very, very beginning. So again, looking at the chapter, translations and all, right? So the unofficial translation for the chapter was called the Siege Barricading Incident. And I think we should keep that in mind. That's what it was called there. Now the official one titles it hostage situation, which that one is a little bit on the nose, I will admit. Like when you're looking at the title of the official title and the unofficial title, it's like, huh. Like you have the siege barricading incident, and then you have hostage situation. And I'll go ahead and say this: I like Under Siege better than I do hostage situation, as far as chapter title goes. Because if you take hostage situation, it's kind of like, well, okay, like to me, it kind of gives it away of like, all right, you kind of have an idea of like, okay, what's to be expected in the chapter then. Whereas Under Siege, it's like, okay, I wonder who exactly that's referring to, you know? So color page, let's see what's this here. The stars are beautiful today, just like you, Nami-san. If it's alright with you, can we watch the stars together? Sanji. Which, I don't know if I mentioned that was Sanji in the back. I might have, but you do see Sanji in the back, you see the cow. And Nami's like, thank you, but I saw them earlier today. Which I've seen a lot of people make the comparison that this is Luffy's jacket that he's wearing, like the one he wore during Wano, and I mean it looks real identical to it for sure. It wouldn't be that surprising actually if it is Luffy's jacket, because Nami is working on sea charts and everything, so you got to take that in mind. But pretty much, Sanji gets rejected, and look, people still taking the sauna ship going. Look, no offense, it's a gag. Like, let's be for real. It is an ongoing gag, and I think at this point, like, look, we are close to 1,100 chapters in, guys. I think this needs to die. Personally, I think this whole gag, like, it's never gonna end for the most part. The only way, in my opinion, that this whole Sanji obsessing over other women ends. Look, it's a gag and there's nothing wrong with it. But if you truly want to see it end, you bring Pudding back. And we know Pudding's situation. The second Sanji finds out something happens to Pudding, oh, he's going straight the other direction. You know that for a fact. That is exactly what Sanji's going to do. And when that does happen, that's eventually going to lead down to her returning back the memory of their kiss. So there's that. But when you look at the other one, the official one, that says, "The stars are pretty tonight, just like you, Nami. Shall we stargaze together?" And Nami says, "Thanks, I saw them already." Let's see, read a request. Cow giving Nami a cup of milk as she draws sea charts at night. Picture Oda, translation Stephen Paul, lettering Vanessa Satone. So, looking at it like that, East Blue Fuchsia Village. Garb's son was, huh? His status is unknown at Pirate Island. Is that true? He's not written off as dead, is he? The news spreads across the world. He's a man who created many legends for himself. There's no need to worry. And then of course, you got Maki now. She's like, I guess you're right, Mayor. Huh, what's so funny? And then you see the baby crying. Oh, it was you. So sorry. Which, interestingly enough, yeah, we still got no idea on what the baby's name is. I think that's something to be pointed out. I'm still worried about Garbson after all. This child has recently become familiar with Luffy's face. You really like Big Brother Luffy, don't you? And then you see Dodon, that Garb, even Luffy. What on earth are they? Dot 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 dot. Huh? Which, looking at it from the official standpoint, Windmill Village, East Blue. Really? Garb vanished at Pirate Island? Is that true? It doesn't say he's dead, right? He's a man of many legends. Don't worry about him. Exactly, Mr. Mayor. What's so funny? Oh, it's you. Sorry. You can't help but be worried about Garp, though. This little one's learned to recognize Luffy recently. You love Big Brother Luffy, don't you? Ah, Garp, Luffy, what on earth? Or not, what do you think you're doing? What the? So, if we're really looking at it like this one's more so referring to this child become familiar with Luffy's face versus this little one's learned to recognize Luffy recently. So, not too different. Like, it's not super far off on that respect. You really like Big Brother Luffy, don't you? Versus you love Big Brother Luffy, don't you? So again, not super different, say the very least. But if we're looking at it from the beginning, status is unknown on Pirate Island. Is it true he's not written off as dead? Um, yeah. I mean, again, I wouldn't say it's super different per se. Official ones do make it a little more clear in that aspect. Whereas before, it's like, huh, what, what? Here's like, wait a second, he isn't dead though, right? Like it's like he's questioning it versus what's actually taking place. Cutting over, looking at the unofficial ones. Of course, you're seeing what's going on in the other villages. Which I don't. Here's the thing: I didn't even notice that the fake Nami was there. You know, like from the Return to Sabaody Archipelago arc. Like she's there. I was like, wait a second, is that really her? Oh my god! Like the things you don't catch the first time when you're reading it, and then when you're like looking back, it's like, whoa, wait a second. Hmm. Okay. So you have East Blues. Whoa, it's an earthquake. You got the South Blue. A tsunami's coming. Get to higher ground. The day, no, the earthquake on this day, West Blue, caused the widest range of damage. North Blue, it's very strong. Observed in the world's history. See the Grand Line. You see Laboon, who's like feeling the tremors and everything. Which I didn't even acknowledge the fact that you had iceberg when I did the initial live stream discussion. The epicenter can't be determined. Of course, you see Hina. In this age with unusual geographies, the relevance is unknown. You see Momonosuke often wanted, so Momonosuke consented to. The relevance is unknown, but see what the hell's happening. From the day when the so-called kingdom of Lulucia climbed the hills, you see a couple of marines running, vanished without a trace from the maps. The resulting event that happened 6 days later. See Emu in the corner too, calling from the place where Lulucia Kingdom once was. And no joke, this shit was still crazy. There's no trace of the country's landmass. Instead, there's a massive hole in its place where sea waterfalls formed around it. Getting closer is impossible. There are no indications that it will be closed up, which was caused by the earthquake, raised the sea levels of the world by 1 meter, which again is nuts because if you take it into like real world schematics, I think it only increases by like inches. So 1 meter? It's like okay, I think I think it increases by centimeters in real world schematics, I think. Actually, let me look that up real quick. Yeah, so 0.13 inches. Let's keep that in mind. So if we're taking this in real world schematics, the ocean water increases by 0.13 inches a year. The fact that this is again increasing 16, that's 16, like 1 meter within 6 days is incredible. Anyway, going over to the official translations. East blue, eek, it's an earthquake. South blue, there's a tsunami on the way. Get to high ground. The earthquake on this day. West blue, yeah, had no parallel in recorded history. North blue, it's a big one. It caused destruction on a vast worldwide scale. Grand Line, Laboon, Iceberg. The epicenter was impossible to pinpoint, making it an almost anomalous seismic event. Perhaps it was unrelated. What's going on, man? But the quake happened. Climb the hill now. As you see, like the water, like just coming in and like flooding shit. Uh, just 6 days after the vanishing of the kingdom of Lucia, I'm here at the remains of Lulucia Kingdom. There is no trace of the land anymore, just an enormous hole in the sea that waterfalls are pouring into. Any further approach is impossible. There is no sign of the hole filling up. The earthquake caused the worldwide sea level to raise by 1 meter. So again, looking at it like that, translations and all, again, not too different. But I personally do like the wording a lot. Again, in the official ones per se. Now, something that I don't think I pointed out necessarily in the initial stream discussion I did is how this is almost similar to Enies Lobby. Like, do y'all remember, like, way early on during Water 7, like, you see, like, the whole facility, like, it's got, like, water around it, and there's, like, this island in the dead center, okay? It's connected, obviously, but you notice how there's, like, this huge, like, gaping hole in the middle, and there's only this small, tiny piece of land, and it's like, how did that come about? Like, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, so how exactly does that work? and we see it. Like we see it right here. This can be like a huge indication of that. But it does also raise a question too for Water 7. Like how exactly did that come about? Like we get an idea of how that island came to be, but what we don't know is how it's still floating, you know? But it does answer one question is that there used to be a huge chunk of land in that area, for sure. All over the world, what is happening? The beach here has never sunk this low before. The tide will surely recede, right? Many shorelines to see Ivankov. Our aim to run at the beach is gone. See, and islands have vanished. The flooding was horrible. We can't live here anymore. Sharks have entered my house, reporting the flood situation from various regions. I mean, look, here's the other thing. The fishmen are gonna have a huge field day. That's for sure. Like, think about it like this. The fishmen, like, they're gonna look at this and go like, huzzah! Like, we have been blessed. More water. You know some shit like that's gonna happen. You know that 100%. It's not the high tide season yet. We might get a good haul of fish today. Of course, again, seeing Fuchsia Village. You idiot, don't set sail. You see the mayor. Cut over here. It triggered the loss of several beaches. But in the no, what in the world is going on here? The beach has never been flooded like this before. The tide will ebb eventually, right? And obviously, around the world, I was supposed to run on that beach. Our aim to so yeah, this one's a big one. Our aim to run on the beach is gone. There were so she's referring to all of them, but here it's saying I was supposed to like me, me like it's not we all were going. It was just me. So I do like that. The flooding's so bad, we have nowhere to live. A shark swam right into my house. We have reports of flooding coming in from all over the world. It's not supposed to be high tide yet. Maybe today's catch will be huge. Don't you dare sail out in this. See the mayor again. Then we cut back over to Future Island, Egghead, in the New World. Going to the unofficial ones, obviously. The water levels around the world has yes. Well, what on earth is happening? Convocation order for a national class military force, surpassing even the Buster Call, is being staved off, including 20 huge battleships. A fleet of 100 ships of various sizes surrounds the island. A mech sea monster with, keep in mind, 30,000 Marine soldiers on board. Yo. And then, of course, he sent Amaru. Hey, I've told you not to attack the sea beast weapons. But it's the one who attacked first. Leading this absurd number of forces are the 9 vice admirals from HQ. And obviously, if we're looking at them all together, seeing who is there, because I got the chart pulled up right here. So Maynard's there. I think it's Maynard, right? Let me see. Um, Again, I know for sure I didn't catch everyone the first, and I'm probably still not gonna catch everybody yet. But let's see who we can guess with this game of I Spy, if you will. So looking at it, Doll is there, obviously. Doberman's there. See Doberman. There's no Garb. Garb's retired. Forget that. Actually, is that Maynard? No, it's not Maynard. Yeah, a couple of these I don't really know at the top of my head. Who else is here? Again, some of these like are just like, who are you people? But that's exactly who it is. But looking at it, I know of one character for sure. If I can find their face, Suru's there. Yeah, so one of them is Suru for sure, and I mean Dalmatian's not there. Okay, here's another thing. Where the hell is Smoker? Like that's my big thing. Like this man has not been seen in ages. We saw Tashigi, but where is Smoker? Like Mad Cats are coming out of the woodwork finally after years, and I mean, okay, look. Last time we saw Smoker was what Tail End Dressrosa. It's been a long time. I would assume that we'd get something on him, but I don't know. Something tells me we'll get an update on Smoker here eventually. I feel, but let's see. You see Admiral Kizaru like chilling with ramen. Again, looking at the unofficial translations. I'm here. I am at a loss here. This feels really awkward, Tomorrow-kun. Don't you? Won't you just surrender and come out here? If you do that again, we're gonna return fire, Uncle. Navy Admiral Borsolano. Now that's just scary. Old Man Punk was able to make the lasers for the pacifistas by studying your abilities. Wow, so cool! Never thought that it would be you who will come to get rid of Old Man Punk. I can't cover for you if you do research about the Void Century. I'm a corporate corporate slave, you see. Versus what we have here in the officials. So let's see here. Meanwhile, on Future Island, Egghead in the New World, water levels are rising around the world. That's right. What can it mean? A naval summons brought a nation-sized fleet that far outclassed even a Buster Call. The island was completely surrounded by a group of 100 ships, including 20 massive battleships. The mechas attacking. Their crews totaled 30,000 sailors. And then, of course, on Damaru, hey, I told you not to attack the sea beast weapons, but it attacked us first, leading this unprecedented military force was a group of 9 vice admirals. Of course, I named some of them. Again, some of these I don't really know at the top of my head, but let's see here. Admiral Kizaru. And Kizaru just says, well, you're putting us in a rather sticky situation here, Tomorrow. Could you just surrender and come back over here? Next time you try that, old man, we're attacking. Oh, how scary. Punk developed the pacifista's lasers after you're studying. Whoa, cool. Never thought you'd come to eliminate him one day. Studying the Void Century is a crime. Even I can't defend Santamaru. I'm just another cog in the machine. Cog in the machine versus corporate slave. I like cog in the machine. Definitely. Anyway, this fight is not beneficial to us. You know, the more we destroy, the more it becomes unforgivable for us. Looks like Rob Lucci and company failed to carry out the assassination, it seems. That's because the Straw Hat Pirates are here. Versus, this isn't a battle we want to have either. The more we destroy, the more we lose. Seems like Rob Lucci and his cohorts failed to complete their mission. Yeah, because of the Straw Hats. Yeah, because the Straw Hat Pirates are here. Because the Straw Hats. Within the battleship, and we see This man over here, Saint J. Garcia. Don't make them realize that I am here. Yes, sir. The Straw Hat Pirates take Vegapunk as a hostage and siege and set up a siege barricade, huh? This article is good, courtesy of Morgan, sir. Well, what's the current status of things? He asks. And then, of course, across from him is Doberman. Yes, sir. Because there's no mission conclusion report from CP0, and the fact that Zentomaro is still on the ground, there's no mistaking that the ones at the Labo phase are the 7 Dr. Vegapunks, including the main body Stella and 4 Seraphim units, which are protecting them. See, nice little color illustrations of the Vegapunks, see the Seraphims. The group we think they allied themselves with, the Emperor's crew, the Straw Hat Pirates, comprising of 10 individuals. Of course, see Frankie, Jinbei, Brooke, Robin. Which I think that's the only instance of Robin we get is just this little doodle. Because something I didn't even catch is that there was no Robin. And we'll get to that when we get to it. But we see Usopp just like looking over at Sanji. It's like they're having a competition. Like, yo, you're looking at me. No, you're looking at me. All right, let's do this. Let's fight. Of course, you see Chopper looking so happy. Luffy and Nami looking happy, obviously, and Zoro kind of just like, I'm just here. The advanced unit that was sent led by 3 CP0 members, Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy. Versus on a battleship. Don't let them figure out that I'm here. Yes, sir. Straw Hat crew barricades itself in with Vegapunk as prisoner, eh? I like this article. That's Morgan's work, sir. And what is the truth? We received the mission complete report from. No, we have not received the mission complete report from CP0 yet, given that Zentomaro is still defending the island. We can be certain that the Labo phase is currently hosting Dr. Vegapunk Stella and 6 satellites, the 4 Seraphim protecting them, and the 10 members of the Emperor's Straw Hats crew, whom we believe to be allied with him, as well as the agents in the lead force, Rob Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy from CP0. Let's see here. The rank and file cipher pull agents appear to have been locked up in the Fabrio phase by Zentomaro and his Pafista MK3 units. Fabrio phase. It also seems that the remaining Cyberpole soldiers, Fabrio phase, Labo phase, numbering around 100, have been captured by the Pafista Mark III units led by Zentomaro. So, the rank and file Cyberpole agents appear to have been locked up in the Fabro phase by Zentomaro and his Pafista Mark III units. Been captured versus locked up. Locked up, I think, has a bit of a better ring to it, in my personal opinion. And again, jumping back to the unofficial translations, because the barrier of the Frontier Dome is at 100, getting in or out is impossible at the moment. 1 day has passed since yesterday, and it's still unclear what has transpired inside. So 1 day has passed. Keep in mind. Where are the researchers and employees that was originally on the island? Every one of them escaped from the island yesterday, confirming the location of their ship is currently being arranged. What if someone is on board there, knows something, seeing it at once? Yes, sir. That's what Saint J. Garcia says. He's like, Let's do this. Let's take him out. Like, we're not risking anything here. Anything. And Doberman's like, there's one more thing, Saint Saturn. The pirate eater Jewelry Bonnie was also witnessed to be within the island as well. Kuma's daughter, we have no use for her anymore. Ignore her. She's nothing but a little girl. Understood. Versus, say, the official translations where we have this. The frontier dome's barrier status is at 100%, meaning that nothing can get in and nothing can get out. It's been an entire day, and we still don't know what's going on in there. Where are the research staff and technicians who work on Egghead? They all evacuated the island yesterday. We've got the coordinates of their ships. And what if they know too much? Sink them. Yes, sir. And Doberman again says, one more thing. Saint Saturn. The pirate Jewelry Bonnie the Glutton has been sighted on the island. Kuma's daughter? She has no more benefit to us. Leave her there. She's just a girl. Understood. So, looking at it from that aspect, nothing but a little girl versus, let her be. Let her be. She's of no concern to us. Understood. Kizaru-san, transmission waves from Egghead have been detected. It seems they're connecting to somewhere. Bada bada bada. Bada bada bada. The Holy Land, Marijwa. It went through Marijwa, sir. Admiral. The thing attached to your wrist is a black transponder smell. Oh. Message wiretap is possible with it, sir. So Kizaru's like, no. Hold on. Let's actually like wiretap this shit and see what exactly is going down on the damn island. That's exactly what he's doing. Hello? It's me, York. So it's you. Now this is just cruel. Why am I also going to be killed? Bada 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 bada. Switching over to the official translations. Kizaru, we're picking up a signal coming from Egghead. Oh? They seem to be placing a call somewhere. It's Marijwa. Admiral, that thing on your wrist is a black transponder snail. You can tap the call. The Hall of Power. Hello? This is York. It's you. Hey, this is really messed up. Why are you killing me too? Even though I was the one who and right now I'm switching back over to the unofficial translations. Even though I was the one who told you about Stella's betrayal, you are also one of the Vegapunks. There's no changing that, York. I was interested in the if I was interested in the Void Century, there's no way I would reveal all these to you, don't you think? This is absurd. Indeed. You've done well in surviving. Did CP0 came? What are the Straw Hats doing? Overnight, I was the only one who called. So why don't you just take a guess? I have the Seraphim units with me. Versus. When you only know about Stella's betrayal because I told you. You too are also Vegapunk, York. If I had any interest in the Void Century, I wouldn't have told you about this. Okay. How dare you? She has a point. It's good that you survived. Again, compare that to this. You've done well in surviving versus it's good that you survived. Did CP0 reach the island versus did CP0 came? Obviously, did CP0 reach the island is a little bit more accurate on that aspect in terms of grammars and everything. What are the Straw Hats doing now? See here. The fact that I'm the only one to contact you after last night should tell you everything. The Seraphim are here. I had the Seraphim. Okay, so here it's saying that she has the Seraphims with her, like right here, right now. And the official one just says the Seraphim are here, just like that. Not exactly with her per se, but just like on the island. That's what the official one is explaining away everything. What's this about a naval fleet surrounding the island? You're planning to wage war against me? York, actually, we changed our thinking. The Mother Flame, you can also create that, right? Oh, you're quite good with the business pitch. So you really want that, right? Good thing I sent it. Yes, it is desired. Desired by who? The power plant that is here on this island. Promise me that no harm will come to me into the laboratory. Understood. Make me a celestial dragon. We'll arrange that. Then it's a done deal. Now hurry up and save me. I'm gonna get killed by Straw Hat Luffy. Well, huh? Nani? What the? Huh? Like, even Kizaru's like, what's the meaning of this? Now, shift over to the official translations. Why is this surrounding? Why is this fleet surrounding the island? Are you going to war with me? York, we changed our minds. Are you able to create the Mother Flame too? Oh, now you'll play along. Yes, I'm not surprised you want it. I'm glad I sent it to you. Yes, it is desired. Desired by who? Anyway, the power plant that creates it is on this island. So promise me you won't hurt me or the lab. Understood. And make me a celestial dragon. It will be done. Then you've got a deal. And the first thing I want you to do is come save me before Straw Hat Luffy kills me. Huh? What? 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 And again, Kizaru's like, what does this mean? Versus what's the meaning of this? Versus what does this mean? Of course, we see the final double shot. I want to crush them all. That's what Zoro says. Nami says, I can picture the whole scene now. And Luffy's like, I really don't get all of these. But we'll just use her as a shield and get out of here, right? Bonnie eating some pizza. So it's really like a siege barricade, right? Vegapunk. So that's what happened. And of course, you good Usopp over here, like mad chill, like mission successful. We went up to you. Very Yonko like. I like it. I like this. Now, again, look over at the officials. Come and clobber them all for me. What Zoro says. And Nami says, now I see how it all fits together. And Luffy's like, I don't, but I'm guessing we'll use her as a shield to escape. And Bonnie says, it's like a damn hostage situation. So what's going on? So that's what's going on, is what Vegapunk says. Now, again, I just want to point out who exactly we have here so far. So we have Jinbei in the corner. Zoro, obviously we noted. Nami, Luffy, original trio actually. I like how the original trio is like just grouped together. And then of course you have Sanji over there with like some pancakes and some other desserts. Lucci's there for, and I don't know if I covered this in the initial stream discussion that I did, but the fact that Lucci's there, that's intriguing. That's actually really, really intriguing to note that Lucci's like actually there, like in the vicinity. What? Like, bro, what? Last time we saw you, there was some sort of clash that was supposed to happen. Like a clash went down when we last saw you. So, and I do feel like Oda's gonna explain that. Like, there's no way, we continue all this chapter next week with the Straw Hats like just leaving the island. I don't think that's gonna be the entirety of the chapter. What I think we're gonna get is, again, it's not gonna be the whole chapter. No, obviously not the whole chapter, but I do think we're gonna get a brief overview of like what went down, like what happened again while we were away on Full Island versus when all that stuff was going down there with Garb, Kobe, Helmeppo, Groose, Avala Pizarro. Whatever happened off screen here, we're gonna get that, and I see that coming from a mile away. But yeah, so Lucci's situation has me kind of curious as to like what happened here. Um, Now actually, here's the thing: the fact that Sanji is carrying the plates and he uh, to me, it doesn't look like he's directing his attention towards Nami. I feel like his attention is directed towards Robin. I think. But then again, if the fact that we don't see Robin actually has me kind of curious because of all the straw, like all of them are practically there, with the exception of Robin. Now, again, two possibilities here. That could have been a art error on Oda's part. Like maybe he intended to include Robin in the chapter, but he just forgot. That's a possibility. Or maybe something happened to Robin. Who knows? Because this stuff like this happens all the time. Like, do y'all remember when the Obito flashback was going on for Naruto? And remember when Obito was like looking towards the Hokage faces, and Minato's face was there? And, like, when the chapter first came out, Minato's face was there. But it's not until the volume came out and Kishi corrected that error. So maybe it's one of those things. Maybe it's a case where when we get the when we get the official chapter or like the official release of the volume, like Robin will be included somewhere. Or like I said, maybe there's something there that Oda's setting up. Maybe. But here's the thing. The fact that York is chained up like this, I mean, again, it's a savage play call. It's a huge savage play call, to say the least. And again, you got Chopper over there talking to Frankie, Brooke over there in the corner. To be continued. What's going on? Yeah, okay, so Robin's not there. And again, my big prediction on that is it might be an art error, and Oda will correct that in the volume release. Or there's something going on with Robin, and we're gonna get that. I'd say when the next chapter drops. Now, here's the thing: Weekly Shounen Jump, like the magazine as a whole, is going on break. So, it's not necessarily just One Piece. Like Black Clover's going on break. My Hero's going on break. Um, Blue Box is going on break. Elusive Samurai. Like, there's a lot of series in Jump right now that typically come out, and they're going on break. So we're not getting a chapter for any of the series, within the coming week. But we are left off on an interesting note. I will say that we're left on a really, really interesting note here with the chapter. And again, my best guess here is that we will get some sort of flashback that leads up to York being a hostage. I think we're going to get that for sure. I don't think it's going to be the entirety of the chapter. If I were to play devil's advocate, not even devil's advocate on this, but if I were to take a huge hypothetical guess, 1/3 of the chapter I think could be dedicated to just a flashback. Maybe half. Maybe half. And that depends too. But I do feel like the last half, or at the very least the last third of chapter 1090, definitely is going to be the initial stages of the Straw Hats escaping. Do I think they're gonna escape all together? Like, say, get to the Sunny and then like, whoa, we hightail it out of there? No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think what's gonna happen is that we'll get them escaping and maybe approach the Sunny. But I don't think they're gonna get on board of the Sunny just right away. It's my best guess. And I mean, who knows? Maybe the reason why Robin's not in the scene ties into the next chapter. Maybe what I think could have happened is say, again, look, first third or first half of 1090, flashback as to how we got to this point with York. And then the rest of the chapter, they're escaping, and we come to find out what Robin's up to. And then from there, we escape, and that's where the next chapter goes. Who really knows? Like, who really knows what we're gonna get? But I do get a sense that the Straw Hats are gonna come up with something. Like, now that they know this information, it's like, oh, well, shit. So, needless to say, when it comes to this chapter, I mean, look, Egghead Island now, for the most part, is like practically finished. Like, which is crazy because, like, if y'all remember, I just did the podcast recently with the boys, and prediction on Egghead ending was going to be what, like 2 years. But given the situation now, no, I think Egghead's ending a lot sooner than what a lot of people like were thinking it was going to end. So, because like realistically, look at this: the chapter for Egghead started on chapter 10, yeah, 1058, and looking at it like that, we're on chapter 1089. So it's been about like 31 chapters. So if I were to take a guess on how many chapters we have left for Egghead, I think 8 chapters at the max. I think is good enough to end it. Because again, there's still Kizaru there, like just waiting outside, and like, and again, there's still just everything else regarding Egghead too. But I do think 100% that probably by October, late October, early November, I do think we're gonna be out of Egghead, and then we're gonna tackle the next big thing. Plus, we also have to take into effect that again, Vivi is with Morgans and Wobble, and they're like currently flying over Egghead. So something, in my opinion, happens on Egghead because even the narrator states that a big event gets triggered because of Egghead, and keep in mind the fact that Vivi's flying over Egghead right now with Morgans and Wobble. Who's to say that's not the big event that gets triggered? It's like, oh shit. Like Vivi joins the Straw Hat. Or again, it could be something else too. Like maybe it's something Luffy does. And it's like, okay. So for the most part, you guys, when it comes to the chapter, again, as a whole, I'm gonna give it an amazing. It was an amazing chapter. Arguably pure perfection. It's an arguably pure perfection chapter, which again, for my own rating scale, for anybody who doesn't know, pure perfection is a 10 out of 10. Amazing is a 9 out of 10. Great is an 8 out of 10. Good is, well, actually, let me correct that real quick. So amazing would be a 6 out of 7. And then good would be a 5 out of 7. Okay would be 4 out of 7. And then, so on and so on. Like, you get the gist here. But aside from that, you guys, like I said, amazing plus chapter. I'll arguably, I was about to say breaking skill. Breaking skill used to be initial rating for pure perfection, but arguably pure perfection. And again, we're going to be on a break for this upcoming week. But that doesn't mean you're not gonna get One Piece content from me. Like, do have the Luffy discussion video coming out, and that will probably be up when the chapter officially comes out. So, not like obviously chapter 1090 was supposed to come out like say next week, right? But since we're on break, you'll get a video from me on the Luffy discussion. And that's a video I really can't wait to share with you guys. But aside from that, you guys, like, let me know what you guys thought from the chapter. What was your favorite part about it? And what were some gripes that you had with the chapter? Where do you think Nico Robin is? Do you think she's captured? Do you think she's just currently like off the side, just chilling on something, or is it just an art error that Oda, just forgot to include? And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more One Piece content, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.